Hello viewers, welcome to our channel Career Prep. Mensuration is an important and scoring topic of the quantitative aptitude section in competitive exams like GRE, GMAT, SSC, RBI exams, railway exams and so on. In this video, we'll solve a few problems on 2D shapes. There are different formulae to solve questions on this topic. So, knowing and applying these formulae is very important to do well in this section. Before we begin, please subscribe to our channel. Also press the bell icon to get notifications as soon as we post a new video. So let's start. A wire bent to form an equilateral triangle encloses an area of 484 root 3 square centimeters. What is the area enclosed when the same wire is bent to form a circle? Take pi is equal to 22 by 7. Here you are given 4 options and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here you are asked to find the area of the circle. We know that the area of the circle is equal to pi r squared and the value of pi is given as 22 by 7. So if we know the value of r, that is the radius of the circle, then we can easily find the area of the circle. So let's find the radius of the circle using the given information in the problem. Now it's given that area of an equilateral triangle is equal to 484 root 3 square centimeters. Now we know that area of an equilateral triangle is equal to root 3 by 4 multiplied by a squared, where a is the length of each side. So now we have root 3 by 4 multiplied by a squared is equal to 484 root 3 square centimeters. The root 3 on the left hand side and the root 3 on the right hand side gets cancelled and we get a squared is equal to 484 multiplied by 4, which means a is equal to square root of 484 multiplied by 4. On solving this, we get a is equal to 44 centimeters, which means the length of each side of the equilateral triangle is 44 centimeters. Now we know that the equilateral triangle has 3 sides. So the length of the wire would be equal to 44 multiplied by 3, which is 132 centimeters. Now it's given that the same wire is bent to form a circle, which means the circumference of the circle would be equal to the length of the wire. Now we know that the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r and length of the wire we have found out as 132 centimeters. Now here r is the radius of the circle and the value of pi is given as 22 by 7. So substituting all that in this equation here, we get 2 multiplied by 22 by 7 multiplied by r is equal to 132. On solving this, we get r is equal to 21 centimeters, which means the radius of the circle is 21 centimeters. Now we are asked to find the area of the circle. We know that the area of the circle is pi r squared and we have found out that r is equal to 21 centimeters. Substituting the value of r in the equation here, we get area of the circle is equal to 22 by 7 multiplied by 21 multiplied by 21. And on solving this, we get the area of the circle as 1386 centimeters squared. So the correct answer is option D, 1386. What is the area of an equilateral triangle whose altitude is 24 centimeters? Here you are given 4 options and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here we have to find the area of the equilateral triangle. We know that the area of an equilateral triangle is equal to root 3 by 4 multiplied by a squared, where a is the length of each side of the equilateral triangle. Now if we know the value of A, then we can easily find the area of the equilateral triangle. So let's find out the value of A using the information given in the problem. Now it's given that the altitude of an equilateral triangle is 24 centimeters. Now we know that area of an equilateral triangle is equal to root 3 by 4 multiplied by A squared, where A is the length of each side. Now we also know that area of a triangle is equal to half multiplied by base multiplied by height. So now we have half multiplied by base multiplied by height is equal to root 3 by 4 multiplied by A squared. We know that the base is A. Height is given as 24 centimeters. Substituting these values in the equation here, we get half multiplied by A multiplied by 24 is equal to root 3 by 4 multiplied by A squared. On solving this equation, we get A is equal to 16 root 3. Now that we know the value of A, let's substitute the value of A in the formula for area of an equilateral triangle. So we know that area of an equilateral triangle is equal to root 3 by 4 multiplied by A squared, which means area of the equilateral triangle is equal to root 3 by 4 multiplied by 16 root 3 the whole squared. On solving this, we get the area of the equilateral triangle as 192 root 3 centimeter squared. So the correct answer is option A, 192 root 3 centimeter squared. The sides of a scalene triangle measure 8 centimeters, 10 centimeters and 12 centimeters. What is its altitude if 12 centimeter side is taken as the base? Here you are given 4 options and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here the sides of the scalene triangle are given and we have to find the altitude or the height of the scalene triangle. So let the sides of the scalene triangle be A is equal to 8 centimeters, B is equal to 10 centimeters and C is equal to 12 centimeters. Now it's given that the 12 centimeter side is taken as the base. So base of the scalene triangle is 12 centimeters. And we are asked to find the height of the scalene triangle. Now we know that area of a triangle is equal to half multiplied by base multiplied by height. Now since the value of the sides of the scalene triangle is given, we have to find the area of the triangle using the Heron's formula, which is area of the triangle is equal to square root of s multiplied by s minus a multiplied by s minus b multiplied by s minus c, which means half multiplied by base multiplied by height is equal to square root of s multiplied by s minus a multiplied by s minus b multiplied by s minus c. Here S is equal to A plus B plus C divided by 2. We know the value of A, B and C as 8, 10 and 12 centimeters. So S is equal to 8 plus 10 plus 12 divided by 2, which is nothing but 15. Now we know the value of the base of the scalene triangle as 12 centimeters. We are asked to find the height. We know the value of S as 15. The value of A is given as 8 centimeters, B is 10 centimeters and C is 12 centimeters. Substituting all these values in the equation here, we get half multiplied by 12 multiplied by height is equal to square root of 15 multiplied by 15 minus 8 multiplied by 15 minus 10 multiplied by 15 minus 12. On solving this equation, we get height is equal to 2.5 root 7. So the correct answer is option D, 2.5 root 7 centimeters. The diagonal of a square of area 45 root 3 centimeters squared is one side of an equilateral triangle. Find the area of the triangle. Here you are given 4 options and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here you are asked to find the area of the equilateral triangle. It's given that one side of the equilateral triangle is nothing but the diagonal of a square of area 45 root 3 centimeters squared. Now we know that area of an equilateral triangle is root 3 by 4 multiplied by a squared, where a is the side. Now it's given that a is equal to d, that is the one side of an equilateral triangle is equal to the diagonal of the square. So if we find the value of the diagonal of the square, then we can easily find the area of the equilateral triangle. Now it's given that area of the square is 45 root 3 centimeters squared. Now let the diagonal of the square be d centimeters. Now we know that area of a square is equal to d squared by 2 centimeters squared, which means d squared by 2 is equal to 45 root 3, that is d squared is equal to 90 root 3. Now we know that area of a equilateral triangle is root 3 by 4 multiplied by a squared. It's given that a is equal to d. So d squared is equal to 90 root 3 means a squared is equal to 90 root 3. Substituting the value of a squared in this formula, we can easily find the required area of the equilateral triangle. So area of the equilateral triangle is equal to root 3 by 4 multiplied by 90 root 3. On solving this, we get the area of the equilateral triangle as 67.5 centimeters squared. So the correct answer is option B, 67.5 centimeters squared. Find the area of the right-angled isosceles triangle with perimeter 4 multiplied by 2 plus root 2 centimeters. Here you are given 4 options and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here you are asked to find the area of the right-angled isosceles triangle. Now we know that area of right-angled isosceles triangle is equal to half multiplied by a squared. So if we know the value of a, then we can easily find the area of the right-angled isosceles triangle. Now it's given that the perimeter of the right-angled isosceles triangle is 4 multiplied by 2 plus root 2 centimeters. Now this is an right-angled isosceles triangle. Let the equal sides be A. Let the hypotenuse be B. Now the perimeter of this right-angled isosceles triangle would be equal to A plus B. So now we have A plus B is equal to 4 multiplied by 2 plus root 2 centimeters. This is equation 1. Now since it's given that the triangle is right angled, we can apply the Pythagoras theorem. So applying the Pythagoras theorem, we get a squared plus a squared is equal to b squared, which means b squared is equal to 2a squared, that is b is equal to a root 2. Now substituting the value of b in equation 1, we get a plus a root 2 is equal to 4 multiplied by 2 plus root 2. On solving this equation, we get a is equal to 4 centimeters. Now we know that area of the right-angled isosceles triangle is equal to half multiplied by a squared, and we have found out the value of a as 4 centimeters. Substituting the value of a in the formula here, we get area of the right-angled isosceles triangle is equal to half multiplied by 4 squared, which is nothing but 8 square centimeters. So the correct answer is option A, 8. The sum of three sides of an isosceles triangle is 20 centimeters and the ratio of an equal side to the base is 3:4. Find the altitude of the triangle. Here you are given four options and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here you are asked to find the height of the isosceles triangle. Now you know that the formula is height of the isosceles triangle is equal to square root of a squared minus b squared by 4. Here a is the value of each of the equal sides and b is the value of the third side. Now if we know the values of a and b, then we can easily find the height of the isosceles triangle. Now it's given that the ratio of equal side to the base is 3:4. Now we know that in an isosceles triangle, two sides are equal. So let the three sides of the isosceles triangle be 3x, 3x and 4x. Now it's given that the sum of the sides is equal to 20, which means 3x plus 3x plus 4x is equal to 20. On solving this, we get x is equal to 2. So the sides are 3x, 3x and 4x and we know the value of x as 2. So the sides of the isosceles triangle would be 6 centimeters, 6 centimeters and 8 centimeters. Now we know that now we have to find the height of the isosceles triangle. We know that height of the isosceles triangle is equal to square root of a squared minus b squared by 4. Now we have found out that the value of each of the equal sides is 6 centimeters. That is a is 6 centimeters and the third side b is 8 centimeters. Substituting these values in the formula here, we get the height of the isosceles triangle is equal to square root of 36 minus 64 by 4. On solving this, we get the height of the isosceles triangle as 2 root 5 centimeters. So the correct answer is option D, 2 root 5 centimeters. What will be the cost of building a fence around a square plot with area equal to 289 square feet if the price per foot of building the fence is rupees 58? Here you are given four options and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here you are asked to find the cost of building a fence around a square plot. Now this can be found out if we know the length of the fence. Now as you can see here, the length of the fence is nothing but the perimeter of the square plot. So if you know the perimeter of the square plot, then we can easily know the length of the fence and from that we can find out the cost of building the fence. Now it's given that area of the square plot is 289 square feet. Now let each side of the square plot be a feet. Now we know that area of a square is equal to a squared. So a squared is equal to 289, which means a is equal to 17 feet. Now we know that the length of the fence is equal to the perimeter of the square plot and perimeter of a square is equal to 4a. Now we have found out that a is equal to 17 feet. So the length of the fence, which is nothing but the perimeter of the square plot, would be 4 multiplied by 17, which is 68 feet. Now it's given that to build 1 foot of the fence, the cost would be rupees 58. So to build 68 feet of fence, the cost would be 68 multiplied by 58, which is nothing but rupees 3,944. So cost of building the fence is rupees 3,944. The correct answer is option A, rupees 3,944. The base of a triangle is equal to the perimeter of a square whose diagonal is 7 root 2 centimeters, and its height is equal to the side of the square whose area is 169 centimeters square. Find the area in centimeters square of the triangle. Here you are given 4 options and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here you are asked to find the area of the triangle. Now we know that the formula to find area of the triangle is area is equal to half multiplied by base multiplied by height. So if we know the values of base and height, we can easily find the value of the area of the triangle. Now it's given that diagonal of the square is 7 root 2. Now we know that diagonal of a square is nothing but side root 2. So side root 2 is equal to 7 root 2, which means side of the square is equal to 7 centimeters. Let's assume that side of the square is A. So A is equal to 7 centimeters. Now we know that perimeter of a square is 4A. Now since A is 7 centimeters, it means 4A is 28 centimeters. Now it's given that perimeter of the square is equal to the base of the triangle. So since perimeter of the square is 28 centimeters, it means base of the triangle is also equal to 28 centimeters. So now we know the value of the base of the triangle. Now let's find out the value of the height of the triangle. Now it's given that area of the square is 169 centimeters square. We know that area of squared is nothing but a squared. So a squared is equal to 169, which means a is equal to 13. That is, side of the square is equal to 13 centimeters. Now it's given that height of the triangle is equal to side of the square. Now since we know that side of the square is 13 centimeters, it means that height of the triangle is also 13 centimeters. So now we know the value of base of the triangle as 28 centimeters and the value of height of the triangle as 13 centimeters. Substituting these two values in the formula here, we get area of the triangle is equal to half multiplied by 28 multiplied by 13, which is nothing but 182 centimeters squared. So area of the triangle is 182 centimeters squared. The correct answer is option B, 182. If the radius of a circle is equal to the diagonal of a square whose area is 12 centimeters squared, then find the area of the circle. Here you are given 4 options and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here you are asked to find the area of the circle. Now we know that area of the circle is equal to pi r squared. Here pi is equal to 22 by 7. Now if we know the value of r, then we can easily find the area of the circle. Now it's given that area of the square is 12 centimeters squared. Now since area of a square is equal to a squared, it means a squared is equal to 12. That is, a is equal to square root of 12. Now we can write 12 as 4 multiplied by 3. Here square root of 4 would be 2. So a is equal to 2 root 3 centimeters. Here a is nothing but the side of the square. So side of the square is 2 root 3 centimeters. Now we know that diagonal of a square is equal to side root 2. Since we know that side is equal to 2 root 3 centimeters, let's substitute the value of the side here. So now we have diagonal of the square is equal to 2 root 3 multiplied by root 2, which is nothing but 2 root 6 centimeters. So diagonal of the square is equal to 2 root 6 centimeters. Now it's given that radius of the circle is equal to the diagonal of the square. Now we know that the diagonal of the square is 2 root 6 centimeters. So radius of the circle is also equal to 2 root 6 centimeters. Now that we know the value of the radius of the circle, we can easily calculate the area of the circle by substituting the value of r in this formula. So area of the circle is equal to pi multiplied by 2 root 6 the whole squared. On simplifying this, we get the area of the circle as 24 pi centimeter squared. So the correct answer is option D, 24 pi centimeter squared. What is the least number of square tiles that will be needed to pave a plot 225 meters long and 30 meters broad? Here you are given 4 options and you have to find out which of these options is the correct one. So here you have to find the least number of square tiles that will be needed to pave the plot. Now since we are required to find the least number of square tiles, the side of the square tile must be a factor of both 225 and 30 so that no tile needs to be cut. Now it's very clear that if the size of the tile is uh, bigger, then you will require lesser number of tiles to pave the plot. So for least number of tiles, the size of the tiles should be maximum. Therefore, the side of the tile required to pave the plot would be the HCF of the dimensions of the plot. So the length of the side of the largest square tile is the HCF of 225 and 30. Now HCF of 225 and 30 is 15. So the side of the largest square tile is 15. Now we know that area of a square is equal to a squared, where a is the side of the square. Now we know that the area of the largest square tile is 15. So area of one tile would be 15 multiplied by 15 square meters. Now area of the plot is equal to 225 multiplied by 30 square meters. So if area is 15 multiplied by 15 square meters, then one tile is needed. If area is 225 multiplied by 30 square meters, then the number of tiles required to pave the plot would be equal to 225 multiplied by 30 divided by 15 multiplied by 15. On solving this, we get 30. So 30 is the least number of square tiles that will be needed to pave a plot 225 meters long and 30 meters broad. So the correct answer is option A, 30. Viewers, please go through this video till you have understood the concept. Practice more such problems to increase your speed and also to understand the concept clearly. Please do watch our video on 2D shapes, solved problems part 2. If you have liked this video, please like, subscribe and share this video. Thank you.